So, it's been about a couple of days since The Weeknd has dropped his album, Dawn FM, and we're going to talk about it. Let's first start off with the album cover. I have no idea what the story is behind, like, After Hours and all that stuff, because I never listen to After Hours. I don't know if I should or not, but anyways, I'm not really a huge Weeknd fan. Like, I don't listen to his music, like, all the time, you know? I like his songs, don't get me wrong, I'm just not a huge Weeknd fan. But the album cover by itself, it's a little bit weird. It's an old dude just chilling on the an old version of him, I guess you could say. I would say that this album is very coherent. Obviously, all the way through, you had some highs, and I don't think there were a lot of lows, but maybe there were some in there. Like, having Jim Carrey on the album was phenomenal, by the way. I think it was a nice touch. Kind of like when Morgan Freeman was on 21 Savage's album. But honestly, I have never listened to a full Weeknd album, and this surprised me and made me want to go check out more of his stuff. This album kind of sounded like a little bit like of an 80s, 90s kind of track list, honestly. Like, I know people are going to hate me for saying this, but Sacrifice was a fire song, and honestly, it sounded Michael Jackson-esque, if you know what I mean. It has that beat. You can tell there's a lot of inspiration from Michael Jackson into his music. You can tell literally by the beat selection he had this album, and he does a great job. For me, music is like a whole vibe. It's how I'm feeling. Obviously, lyrics do mean something to an extent, but to me, it's a vibe, honestly. And this, I was doing some work at the time, and I was chilling on my computer. I was like, you know what, might as well. Let's start with the Weeknd album. It's a new one. I was blown away. It was nice. It was a nice chilly day. I was just chilling in literally this sweater. And I was doing my work on my computer, and boom, I play it, and it's a whole experience. It literally is. Like, even the sounds, whenever, because I listen to it on headphones, even the sound with it in your headphones is like an experience by itself. So I've never listened to this album in car. I haven't listened to any of these songs like in a car before, so I don't know how it plays in a car, but I would imagine it would play almost the exact same or as good as it. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's how it felt. But I'm taking away, like, Sacrifice is a fire song. It's one of my favorites on the album, if not my favorite. Nice. Oh, it's fire. It's fire. It is fire, though. Sacrifice is fire. I listen to that song every time, like, I'm walking to the bus stop. It's been on my my songs that I've been listening to recently, which I need to actually do more of, honestly. I need to do, like, a song list of what I like from, like, each of the albums that come out each week. But Sacrifice, phenomenal. Obviously, Take My Breath was a single he released. For me personally, Take My Breath was a little bit long. I wish it was a little bit shorter, but that's just me. I know people like that whole experience as an album, but I still really, really enjoyed it. You know, take my breath away. But yeah, it was cool. We got to see A Tale of Quincy. I'm pretty sure that's Quincy Jones, if I'm not mistaken. That's really cool to see. Kind of like this little interlude of Quincy Jones and his family and stuff like that. And I believe it's Quincy Jones. No, I might be wrong, but yeah. As far as feature goes on this album, Tyler the Creator really surprised me. And also Lil Wayne was pretty good on this. I honestly wasn't expecting Lil Wayne. When I first saw the track list, I was like, okay, Tyler the Creator kind of makes sense-ish, because The Weeknd did some hip-hop stuff. So when obviously I saw on, because I listened to it on Apple Music, it says R&B and soul. So I'm like, okay, so it's going to be like a singing vibe. And I see Lil Wayne, and I'm like, okay, this is probably going to be more like a rap type of song then, right? I was a little bit blown away with everything, honestly, with Lil Wayne and Tyler the Creator. I think they were both really, really, really talented features on this list. And me, I'm not a huge Tyler the Creator fan, but I liked it, having his voice. It's very, very crisp. It just you can hear everything he's saying, and it's just so fluent, and it's just nice to hear, you know? Same with, like, The Weeknd. His voice is phenomenal, by the way. But yeah, some of the songs that I'm liking off this album are Sacrifice. Another couple songs that are actually really, really good is How Do I Make Love, or How Do I Make You Love Me. That's a really, really good song. Also, Out of Time. I like how it switches from the Out of Time. It's like Weeknd's obviously singing Out of Time, and then it just fades into Jim Carrey saying, just like, don't turn down that dial just yet. As the song says, you are out of time. And then it just goes into Tyler the Creator. and it just this album as a whole is phenomenal. I know people have been comparing this to I saw a TikTok the other day of someone comparing this Weeknd album to Tory Lanez's Alone at Prom. I've never listened to a Tory Lanez singing album, so maybe I have to check that out. You guys let me know. But I heard it's a really, really, really solid album. And this one, by far, The Weeknd has made me kind of a fan of The Weeknd, honestly, because this album was phenomenal. I've never heard it After Hours. I heard good things about it, but I never heard it. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Honestly, I'm feeling like a 9. I'm feeling like a light 9, maybe like an 8, but it's still really, really good. It's different from all the other like hip hop and singing type of songs and all that stuff, because I mostly listen to rap, like hip hop, and this for me was a big switch. I love the singing tracks. Don't get me wrong, I love them. And The Weeknd just did it perfectly, in my opinion. It's just really, really good. I'm not a huge music critic. I don't think I am, at least. I like what I like, and this is a good album. A good, coherent album. I would say, listening to the first time, you can obviously tell where there were some songs I liked more. That's why I'm not giving it a 10, because a 10 for me, honestly, it has to be a hit after hit after hit after hit after hit after hit. Don't get me wrong, this album is phenomenal, but it doesn't have a hit after hit after hit after hit, if you know what I mean. There's some songs in there like Sacrifice and How Do I Make You Love Me and Out of Time, which are phenomenal songs and probably my top 3 on this album. But you also have some songs that are not necessarily bad, just not as strong as those ones, in my opinion. But yeah, for me, I don't really like to rate albums necessarily, but if I had to give a rating, I guess I would say like a 9, because it is really good. It's really, really good. So yeah, that's gonna wrap it up. Make sure you guys leave a like, subscribe to the channel. I'm gonna be doing a Gunna album review shortly after this, probably in the next couple days, so be on the lookout for that, and you'll hear my thoughts on that. Peace.